Alright, here we go with another episode of the Omnicast. You know, what a past few weeks this has been. Unfortunately, in this episode, I don't have any more interview with Michael because we're just waiting now on him and Scott, also known as Dead MC and Lil Zip, however way you want to order their names there. Michael is Dead MC, and Scott is Lil Zip. If they want, when they release their Marionette on May 7th, which is, I think, intentionally supposed to be on the anniversary of my mother's passing. Obviously, Michael's mother's too. If they want to keep doing more interviews and talk about each of the songs, that would be awesome. We will do that at the time. But as of right now, I don't have any more music to share for Michael. They just released a music video for Backseat Productions, so go check it out if you have a chance. But as for today's episode, you're going to hear from Michael. You're going to hear some more from my book, The Pillars of Unitism. I was trying to think of the word manifesto. I couldn't think of it for a second. You're going to hear some of that, and of course, you're going to hear my review about WWE. So let's get right into it without any further you know what I mean. Let's get going. By the way, when you have a chance, make sure you check out WorkingFamiliesFirstOhio.com. It is a great website, has an awesome blog. I need to get back into that, but just check it out. You won't be unhappy. Also, Blues Highway. There's a link to it at that website as well, and also on my website, danielcrawford.org. Here we are again, and this is the week of April 11th, 2022 through April 15th, my birthday! For WWE's highlights. Let's just go into the honorable mentions first here. For the whole week, and I will get more specific, I forgot to post an episode earlier this week, just so much going on in this past week for me, but yeah, we'll get all caught up this coming up Monday. But the first honorable mention, Lacey Evans had a part 2 to her promo, where she's, of course, just talking herself up, talking about her life story. Of course, it's an emotional story. She's talking more about herself. Here's the great irony, though, in this. Lacey Evans is talking about her real life, and she's using her real name, I guess. There was apparently a memo sent out by WWE where Vince doesn't want anyone to use their real names anymore. I'm assuming that everyone who's currently using their real names, I'm assuming they're all grandfathered in. But this is just a great irony, because the true story of Lacey Evans is so compelling, makes her more appealing as a character. But now it's like, I don't know. I get it. Like, WWE always showed a preference for people using a stage name. But now it's like, he doesn't want anyone using their real names. Maybe because everyone's kind of getting away with it, and everyone's just kind of using the real name. So maybe that's what it is. It's too real, and you want to make it as much of an illusion as possible. I think that's what's going on there. Anyways, Lacey Evans doing a good job with her promos. Good stuff. Next honorable mention. See, that was on SmackDown, and so is this honorable mention. This is also on SmackDown. Ricochet versus Jinder Mahal for the Intercontinental title. Really good match. It was shorter than I imagined it would be, but Ricochet is just so good at putting on a match that you're just, completely immersed in the moment throughout the whole thing, no matter how long it is. Ricochet just doing an excellent job. Brought in the shooting star press as a new move for him. I hadn't really seen him do it, and it was very beautiful shooting star press. Ricochet retains the title, and we go on there. That was really good. Next honorable mention, we go over to Raw, and we see this comical bit where Tommaso Ciampa's being interviewed. He's then approached by Ezekiel, quote unquote, the younger brother of Elias. Ciampa, of course, acts like he buys it. Then Kevin Owens comes up, extremely annoyed, and Kevin Owens is like, no, this guy's a liar. Why does everyone else believe him? Am I the only one who's not going crazy? It's just, this is hilarious. And he tells Ciampa to grow up, and it's just freaking funny. I love it. So yeah, that was good stuff. All right, to the top 5. Here we go. Number 5. It was on SmackDown. Great matchup here. Riddle versus Jimmy Uso. Was it short? Yeah, sort of. But it was still good, and Riddle delivered an incredible pop-up RKO where he was popped up, and on the fall he did the RKO when he was coming back down. Really, really good stuff there. Great work for Riddle because he's just excellent. Number 4, we go on to NXT. NXT was a solid show, by the way, but NXT, we go over to here, and it makes it into the top 5 with the tag team title gauntlet. So they had to vacate the titles because Nash Carter was fired, sadly, but he had a picture of himself doing the Nazi sign, and that was just a bridge too far after, of course, the controversy over domestic abuse. Those questions, which hadn't been confirmed, but after the Nazi salute picture came out, that was just too much. But anyways, this tag title match was a gauntlet, and it was excellent and pretty dangerous. I think that's their name. They're from NXT UK. They won the tag titles on their debut, which no one had ever done. So here we go. Now I'm going to see this this tag team sort of dominate for a little while. I suspect they'll probably be champions for a few months. But anyway, this was a really good match. Just excellent all around. With the Creed brothers just showing out throughout the whole thing. A lot of awesome spots for the Creed brothers. They went through hell just to get to this moment to put over this new tag team. And it was great. Alright, number 3, we go over to Raw. And just a little spoiler alert, the final 3 are all from Raw. Alright, number 3 is Miz TV. This was an excellent Miz TV segment with Cody. Cody Rhodes being interviewed by Miz. Cody dropped the name for wrestlers, got corrected by Miz right away, who called them superstars, him being a heel. And he also called the world title belt. And Miz is like, it's not a belt. It doesn't hold your pants up. It's a title. And that was just really good. So, the little bit of tension there. Cody getting awesome pops from the crowd. Build up their match later on. And then number 2, we see the Usos versus the Street Profits in the main event. What a great match this was. This was just excellent all around. Some awesome spots. At one point, Montez Ford did this dive to the outside and landed on his feet and just started moving around, sort of flaunting it in front of RK Bro. Just excellent stuff. I freaking love Montez Ford, and the Usos and the Street Profits have such awesome chemistry in the ring. I got to see those two teams go at it live when I was at Extreme Rules with my brother. They are just excellent. No, I love the Street Profits. All right, and also I love the Usos, who I think are the best tag team in the world right now. All right, number 1 for the whole week, Cody Rhodes versus The Miz. Excellent. Was it as good as Seth Rollins versus Cody? No, but this was still good. Cody took this match to another level. The crowd was into it. The crowd was into him. They kind of got rid of the elevator entrance for now because of the stage and had that whole awkward thing. So I think they were just like, nah, we ain't doing that again. And you know what? This was a good decision because I still like his entrance. He just kind of appears, and it's just great. So Cody defeating The Miz. Of course, Seth Rollins comes out, and he and Seth agree to a rematch at Backlash. Just good stuff all around. And a solid week in WWE yet again. They do it again. I cannot wait to see where this goes. I'm actually pretty excited for Backlash because you got they agreed to a match on SmackDown between the Usos and RK Bro to unify the tag titles. So that's going to be excellent. The I Quit match is going to be excellent with Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte. When I get to the honorable mentions, when I get to the specific review, you're going to hear what I think about the Charlotte and Drew Gulak segment, which was also really, really good. But anyways, there's just a lot of awesome things building up for Backlash. I cannot wait. Yeah, great time to be a fan of WWE right now.
So let's discuss the pillars of unity. Now, it's been a while since I've actually recorded one of these, because the last time I recorded for chapter 13, which is on euthanasia, that was months ago from where I'm sitting right now. But I need to get into this. I need to continue this series talking about the pillars of unitism. And what I'm going to talk about right here, while I'm getting ready for work, is chapter 14 of the Pillars of Unity, the beginning of the economics chapter, not chapter, but section. And, which of course is the last of the four pillars, economics. And in this chapter, specifically in 14, I talk about healthcare. Why is healthcare considered to be at least a sub-pillar of unitism, or even any actually economic and political system? Why is healthcare so essential? Well, let's come to the point of, looking at why some systems do not see healthcare as essential. I mean, they touch on healthcare, but they will, leave it to everyone for themselves. If you don't have healthcare, I guess it sucks to be you. That's the kind of mentality that we have with capitalism. So what's the problem? What's the problem here? Why must we emphasize the importance of healthcare? Because we need it. It's essential for our survival. In this chapter, I talk about the crucial nature of having healthcare coverage, of having assurances that you will be seen by a doctor or some kind of medical professional when you need it, not just when society deems it, okay. Not necessary, just, okay, yeah, I guess you can have access to healthcare rather than just having healthcare. That's another discussion for another day. But right now, that's not a discussion for another day. That's relevant to this discussion. Access to healthcare versus universal coverage. You see, for the moderates, the political moderates amongst us, and there's a lot, especially here in the United States, we have a host of cowards who really don't want to test the status quo. And that's where you get this language of universal healthcare versus universal access to healthcare. So, what's the difference? Why is this important to make this distinction? My friends, what it comes down to is, simply, politicians are corrupt and they don't want to address the things that are wrong with our society. Sorry about the noise in the background. I had to put my phone up against the heater here as I go to work. So my frustration with this whole issue of access to healthcare versus universal coverage is that if you're poor, you can say you have access to healthcare just like you have access to housing, like you have access to cars. But that doesn't mean you can get a car or housing. You have to have the money. So these political cowards that are the modern Democratic Party and, of course, the working class traitors that are the Republican Party, and I call them working class traitors because they try to make it seem like they're for the working person, when in reality they are always working on behalf of the oligarchy. The Democrats are kind of a mixed bag. There are some that are like that, most certainly should be just called Republicans, and then there are others who are just, cowardly bitches, and then there are even more who are, genuine people who just have varying degrees of philosophy. Some of them are a little bit corrupt. Some of them don't realize that apparently they've been corrupt. I don't know. It's really frustrating when you get right down to it. The mixed bag that is the Democratic Party. One of the reasons why I left it. So, healthcare is essential. It's essential. It should not be treated as a commodity. And that's what this chapter discusses. Is that you don't just want healthcare, you need healthcare. The only things that should be commodities are things that you want. You know, like going to the movie theater, like buying candy or pop. Those are commodities. Having decorations in your house are commodities. But housing is not a commodity. It's an essential thing. Healthcare, food, these things are essential. But we do not treat them like they're essential. No, in our system here in the United States, we treat healthcare like it's just something that you possess just because you can. It's just something extra, just in case. And that's why we have insurance. Number one, it's a pipeline from, the working class to the rich. Just allows us to just give them money just because. But also it's there as, okay, in case. Like, I like Chris Rock and his whole mentality, like his whole statement about this. I think it was in the stand-up Bigger and Blacker back in '99. I think it was the name of the stand-up. I remember watching it. It was hilarious. But one of the things I remember him saying was insurance is kind of a scam because it should actually be called in case shit happens. Same thing should be the case, because we're talking about like insurance in general. That, and if that thing doesn't happen, you should get your money back, right? But no, that's not how this thing works. Because you're not giving them money so they're there for you. You're giving them money for their own back pocket. Ultimately. That's all it is. There's no need for private healthcare insurance. Hell, one could argue there's no need for even private life insurance. Why do these things even exist to where we have to give money to some middleman to help us when we need it? Like, why don't we have government programs that exist to help a grieving family when their loved one dies? At least when that family isn't rich. And of course, then we have to define what rich is, because apparently some idiots out there don't know what it means to be rich as opposed to working class. I mean, put it this way, it should be simplified as this. If you have to live paycheck to paycheck, you're not poor. You're poor, excuse me. If you have to live paycheck to paycheck, you're poor. But if you don't have to, you're rich. That's what I meant to say. But, we don't have that distinction because there's too many cowards, politically speaking. And that's why the issue of healthcare is such a hot button issue. That's why I felt the need to include it in the Pillars of Unitism. Because we are letting people die to protect the profits of the oligarchy. So this chapter, and of course, this whole book is about bringing people together. So, sorry if my tone's a little aggressive, but, the issue of healthcare affects all of us. All of us have lost someone because they didn't have adequate healthcare coverage. My mother would still be alive. She died at age 49. She would still be alive if she had adequate healthcare coverage in our corrupt system. How can I be so sure that she would still be alive? Because this is just making this an anecdote. Because if my mom had had a surgery that she needed, a gastric bypass surgery, which they considered to be an elective surgery, because at some point, I think in 2004, 2005, some group of healthcare people got together and decided that obesity was not a disease, but a lifestyle choice. So therefore, any kind of surgery to deal with it was therefore an elective surgery. And since it was elective, then Medicaid could not cover it, which is why my mother died. Because my mother did not get her gastric bypass surgery in 2005, which of course this is a whole other issue. I'm just going to say my mom was not morbidly obese because she was eating bonbons and Twinkies all day. Does she eat slightly unhealthy? Yes, at times, but she would also starve herself for long periods of time. She tried to lose weight. But all of that aside, to save someone's life, there should be things in place to try and at least give people a second chance. At least a second chance. And if they had done her gastric bypass surgery in 2005, and at that point my mom was told she only had a year to live. If they had done it in 2005 or at least 2006, they would have found my mother's uterine cancer in its infancy. But no, we had to wait. 4 years after my mom was told she had a year to live. This is, late 2005. She was told in late 2005 she had a year to live. She survived, thankfully, past that. She lived at least another 6.5 years. But 4 years after my mom was told, not 4 years, excuse me, 4 years, yes. 4 years after my mom was told she had a year left to live, she started having a bunch of health issues. A bunch of health issues. And these health issues were really scary. Really, really scary. She started to know something was wrong. She would say something was wrong. And then she finally got looked at. Found out she had uterine cancer. So she had a full hysterectomy. Because she would bleed really bad. So she knew something was wrong, but she kept having doctor after doctor telling her no, you're just obese. And they would just keep ignoring. My mom kept pressing and demanding answers. And they finally found cancer in her, but it was pretty late in its process. So they removed her reproductive organs. And, she began 2 years of hell through chemo and radiation. Yeah, at least Medicaid would pay for that, But it didn't work. After being tortured for so long, my mom just lost her will to live. She was tired of being in agony. And she told them to stop the treatments. So the treatments that were torturing her, that were holding off the cancer, this barbaric way that we have of dealing with cancer, where we almost refuse to find any other way of dealing with it adequately, any less barbaric way. It drained my mother of all of her energy, of all of her will to live. And, she passed away May 7th of 2012, age of 49. She had only lived to see 6 of her now 9 grandchildren. 3 grandchildren have been born after she passed away. It's unfortunate because most of her grandchildren are too young to even really remember her. She died. And this is why this issue is so near and dear to my heart, because I know that her obesity contributed to her developing uterine cancer. It was a major factor. It's a doctor that told my sister about that it definitely contributed to it. And cancer runs in our family. But she also had thyroid cancer. In 1998, she had that removed. And some people like to argue with me about how she had thyroid cancer, but we lived in Germany when Chernobyl had its meltdown. And my mom was believed to have been one of the many citizens in Northern Europe who were exposed to the fallout, who likely had developed thyroid cancer as a result of that. But whether or not you want to accept that, the fact is my mom had thyroid cancer, had it dealt with, and then the medical community, her doctors, messed up her dosage of the medication that was supposed to replace her thyroid, and it contributed to her gaining an immense amount of weight. Because her body developed some kind of immunity to her medication. And because she had too much, she had too high of a dosage. And it was too late. And it took at least 2 years for her to get SSI because she suddenly was unable to work because she had gotten so obese. So that's how she got to that point. Her thyroid was gone. The medication they gave her to replace that because her thyroid regulates fat, the storage of fat. The medication was messed up, so she had nothing in her body to help her body decipher what was good and bad fat. Just everything got stored as bad fat. So she gained a lot of weight. Weight that was almost impossible for her to burn off because from her weight gain, as well as her previous career as a nurse's aide, she had a really bad back. And it just got worse. And yeah, my mom faced depression where, when you're depressed, you do eat. sometimes. My mom just wanted a second chance. And because she was on SSI and she didn't have a job, although she wanted to work, she so desperately wanted to work, she couldn't get a second chance. And I launched a campaign in 2005 and in 2006 to try. I reached out to political officials across the board. All of my elected representatives, I reached out to all of them, begging someone to do something to help my mom get this procedure that I believe still to this day would have saved her life. Regardless, that's my story. There's so many more stories like that. Healthcare is not a commodity, it's an essential. And this chapter of my book delves into that. I talk about the history of healthcare and why it can be better if it's universal. I provide, throughout this whole book, I have references, sources throughout the whole thing to try and back up my arguments. That's just what I was taught to do. Always back up your arguments. But this is a tough issue for me because I lost my mother. I have a best friend, obviously, but my mother was the very first one I'd always talk to. I was immensely close to my mom. And nothing can bring her back. So yes, I kind of have an axe to grind when it comes to healthcare, but I know from all the research I've done, from, just from keeping an open mind, that healthcare is absolutely not working in our country right now as it is. And the only way that's been proven to make it work for everyone is to consider it to be an essential part of life and for the service to be directly insured by the government via taxation. A public service. The fact that we just can't get to that point is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I get irritated when I see Democrats pat themselves on the back about, the fact that, the Affordable Care Act was passed under Obama. Some improvements were made. Absolutely some improvements were made. But it most certainly did not fix the problem. My grandmother, who passed away in 2019, she was also a victim of our healthcare system in her own right. She was moved around when she shouldn't have been. First they messed up her medicine and stuff. So then when they messed up her medicine, they started passing the buck. Because she slipped, she fell into a coma. And then she just got moved around. And one time, because someone made a mistake when they were about to transfer her, took her feeding tube out, she lost consciousness long enough to where she was brain dead. And my grandmother's gone too. My aunt is gone as well. From ALS. There's just so many problems with our healthcare system because we're not doing everything we need that we can possibly do working together, treating this like it's a collective issue as opposed to an individualist issue. And that's the problem, is individualism versus collectivism. Individualism perceives all of this as, it's your own problem. You deal with it by yourself. Your healthcare is your healthcare. I don't want to pay for your healthcare, people, all these idiots say. This greedy mentality that our society has produced, it's facilitated. That to each their own, that, what's yours is yours and what's mine is mine, and we'll keep it that way, right? So who cares if this person or that person dies? Healthcare is ridiculously complex in our country. So many people around the world who just don't understand why we can't get it right. It's because we are greedy. We're taught to be greedy. And there is a better way for healthcare. Once again, that's what this book is about. And this, of course, highlighting of this chapter turned into a much bigger discussion. But you know what? That's what I need to do with all these. Try and get your interest, pique your interest in this book. Check my book out. Go to my website, danacrawford.org. Check out The Pillars of Unitism, which I have it linked under one of my links on there. You can find it pretty easily. Just navigate the website, you'll find it. Buy it on Amazon. And there's actually a few other sources you can buy it at too. So there you have it. Thank you for listening to this very lengthy rant. And me trying to bring attention to this need for addressing healthcare. We will talk next time about chapter 15. Appropriate indecency.
I was writing fucking funny ass shit the other. I already showed you.
Right.
Like I told them to you.
Right.
Dang! I think I'm gonna end up using all those lines too.
Okay.
For different songs and shit.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, because I was going to suggest that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of them that are like really serious lines that I really like. Like the Four Horsemen one. The Apocalypse one.
Right.
I love that one. But I also really love the Shotgun Pump one. What was it? Hold on, I gotta reread it. I wish I had it down so I could do the flow, so I could do a flow with it.
Right.
Like, I get sort of where it's gonna go with the flow.
Well, you'll figure all that flow
But
out.
I need to get a beat behind it, so
You also need to know what all parts you're using, too.
Yeah, because these were all written a cappella,
Originally.
technically.
Yeah.
I didn't even really have. This might change too. It might.
Anytime I've ever written lyrics or done an acapella as well, I've never had music playing in the background before I wrote lyrics.
But what I think I'm gonna do is some words might get taken out, some words might get added in.
Right.
Because that's usually how it works. Like all my stuff that I write a cappella, once I put it to a beat, it usually either gets slightly shortened or slightly extended.
Right.
It just depends on what all works in that flow.
Yay! Where was it? Oh, I love it. Don't rush to the other side. Don't rush to the other side. No need for suicide. Family will find you hanging. Don't think about that badge banging, honey wrangling, constant dangling thing I'm slinging. I love that one. Don't think about the badge bangling, honey mangling, constant dangling thing I'm slinging. I gotta fucking get that down.
Well, this is before Austin got picked up, so he hasn't even heard any of these yet.
Oh, these are fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. You a puppet? Fuck. Now I gotta get this one down too. You a puppet, fucking marionette, while I get your Marianne wet, she climb on top of me. You can't cut the strings, bitch, I know it stings with the hand up your ass, enjoy the sodomy. Oh, fuck. Oh, yo, boo want my ranch, undressing when she see me, saying that I'm dreamy. Wishing you could be me, party. Shit, hold on. This one's fucking amazing, I gotta start over. Your boo want my ranch, undressing when she see me, saying that I'm dreamy. Wishing you could be me, panty pudding, getting creamy, pussy steamy, begging, daming. Damn! I gotta fucking read. I gotta get a beat to these. I'm gonna fucking take all my ones that have to do with sex. I'm gonna put them all into a song. I mean, fucking hilarious. She heavy like a Chevy, saying, what? She heavy like a Chevy. I'm trying to. Oh my god, hold up. She heavy like a Chevy. All right, now I see. I'm missing a word. She heavy like a Chevy, feeling like I'm trying to bench, pushing that weight off my chest. Paper saying he ain't no less with no breath. May he rest, he died the best. Fuck that one up. But I don't care. I just wrote this shit.
You put all the sex ones into a song and just call it A Good Time?
A good time. A good time with a good rhyme.
Right.
Good timing with good rhyming. I don't fucking know. I'll find something to say. Caught you at the light, about to leave your body up. Oh. Caught you at the light, about to leave your body slump. Shotty, leave your neck a bloody stump. Hottie finna get naughty, pump or rump. This is the funny part. Fuck! It's so hard to stop myself from laughing. Fuck, I gotta get to know these. Caught you at the shot, caught you at the light, about to leave your body slump. Shotty, leave your, oh my god, now I'm fucking up on how I'm talking. Starting to get that stutter.
Right.
Caught you at the light, about to leave your body slump. Shotty, leave your neck a bloody stump. Hottie finna get naughty, pump her rump. My jizz plows your shit now, she come dump. Hottie finna get naughty, pump her. Hottie finna get naughty, pump her rump. My jizz plows your shit now, she come dump.
See, the thing is, you got to figure out what rhythm you're wanting to use.
Yeah,
with these
I don't have a beat with it, so.
Because you're trying to do your fast rap, and you might have to do a slower rap with all.
Yeah. Caught you at the light, about to leave your body slump. Shot you, leave you knocking. Caught you at the light, about to leave your body slump. Shot you, leave your neck a bloody stump. Hottie finna get naughty, pump a rum. My jizz plow shit, now she comes dumb. Oh, no, I'll figure something out. You want Pete? I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones I wrote, and it's not even funny. I just also need to find my rhythm with it. You want peace, but whore for more. Blood and gore litters the floor. Horsemen of the apocalypse reach the shore. One of four, read the lore and meet war. I love that one. My whip, like Dean, my whip being Impala. Rhyme schemes like saying college student scholar. Rap MVP, hooping like a baller. Hose holler for $1, but I got nothing for a squalor. Going medieval. I don't want anything for you. I'm not going to give you anything, squalor. She a squalor. Man, I looked up shit for this.
Right.
I was like, man, what the fuck? What really good? What's a real good rhyme for to rhyme with scholar? And I looked it up, and I was like, oh shit, swallow. And I read what it meant just to make sure I thought it was, and I was right. And I was like, bam, put that shit in there.
Someone who's living in squalor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it also means like dirty.
Yeah.
And
No.
there's a few meanings.
Basically, living in squalor is always a reference to them, not being up to your standard.
Yeah.
Basically. Your version of dirty.
Being lesser than you're not squalor. They're nothing but a squalor.
Basically, yeah, it's just old words that aren't really used as much anymore.
Yeah, I like to bring little ones in there, like my sire one. Like I'll teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't call me master, call me sire. I was like, yay! Yay! Oh, I made a Mortal Kombat one too. Time to diminish him, replenish him, fucking finish him. What you call this? Shining while I'm rhyming, putting time to make a lyrical diamond fucking flawless. Ah! Love that one! Time to diminish him, replenish him, fucking finish him. What you call this? Shining while I'm rhyming, putting time to make a lyrical diamond fucking flawless. Love it. Special brownie bacon, cooking steak and bacon while tasting the Haitian hazed gas to get me transportation from this hating nation to a place where happiness lasts. Ah! I love that one too, but I fucked it up. Every now and then. Special brownie bacon, cooking steak and bacon while I taste the Haitian hazed gas to get me transportation from this hating nation to a place where happiness lasts. Oh! Hey! This one's really hard to do, but I know I can get it down if I really fucking try. Mm-hmm. I just came up with it. I was like, how many rhymes can I put before the last word and still have it make sense? And like, I heard it in my head, but when I try to say it out loud, for some reason, it just fucks me up a little bit. But I know I can do it, but it's just, I gotta fucking find my flow. I need to get a beat and put the beat behind this and like rap it to the beat a few times and find out exactly what I need to do with it.
Right.
I think I know what I have to do with it, but I want to make sure before I start fucking with it. Like let it loose, then face persecution, possible execution for this illusion, for breaking this illusion. I find inhumane. God damn it. Let it loose and face persecution, possible execution for breaking this illusion. I find inhumane. Society tells lies that we pass by idly. Why do we not see eye to eye? We're the same in the pain. Ah, that's so hard to do. I know I can do it, but I need to find where that fucking where that shit would lie and how fast I need to say certain words to get it to go and flow right. I know I can do that. Just like the last one, the one with Mom. That one's actually kind of weird to say. I can do it, but because of the emotion that's tied into it, it makes it hard. Like, all I can picture is a flickering picture begging Doc, please fix her, crying in the infirmary. The drip push poison in her veins like acid rain to the plains, left her body, it stains my memory. Mm-hmm. I know I can do it, it's just that it's kind of hard to do.
Right.
Law, your hands are looking shaky, you're driving me crazy, better park it, son. Looking hella shady, my flow is surely amazing, don't mock it, son. Looking for my carry so my dick I can bury. What I gotta do to find my Bloody Mary in the mirror, get scary, chanting for my boo. Woo! Boo! Ah! Like soda, bitch, I fizzle, you drizzle, but my sizzle don't stop. You end up like a daisy mama daddy had a baby, head goes pop. Ah! Oh, I was thinking about it, because once Scott said daisies, because we made all this list. We put like soda, the rhyme word be pop. Daisies, rhyme word be pop. I thought of that one. I was like, well, obviously it's doubled up on what the rhyme word is. But like, I was like, soda? He said soda. I was like, pop. I was like, you know what else goes pop? Daisies. Like, mom and dad had a baby and the head popped off. Pop. And that's exactly what I went to when I wrote that line. I was like, I'm like, that's going to be the line. That's going to be the line already. Already fucking know. Already know. Blah! You locked in the cellar while my ass is stellar. Look to the sky and watch me shine. You don't deserve to press upon your chest, because what's yours is really mine. Ah! Rob a motherfucker for a chain. Give me that! You don't deserve it.
The fuck you looking at, Austin?
I don't rob people though. I make my own shit. Last night I was lit as shit, couldn't quit, now sick, can't remember only flashes. Your girl licked a dick, swallowed no spit, sip from the tip, didn't miss a drip, batting lashes. Oh! Just looking up with the fake ass eyelashes. Oh dude, I'll be honest, I want to do that. Like a girl doing some shit to me, I just rip off her fake eyelashes in the middle. Get those out of here. I don't do that fake shit. Can you imagine? You get punched in the face immediately. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Everything.
Everything. Now enjoy the ride. Hey!